Hi everyone, my name is Helen Clapp and I'm a senior at Amherst College. I'm majoring in Asian languages and civilizations and focusing on Arabic and Middle Eastern studies. I have also taken several French classes at Amherst and before that in high school, but today I'll be focusing on my experiences studying Arabic. And in particular, I want to talk to you about two of my experiences studying conflict in the Arab world. The first was my summer study abroad in England, Northern Ireland, and Jordan the summer after my freshman year. And then the second was a special topics research paper that I completed last semester. So they were kind of like the bookends to my Arabic experience in the 5 colleges. So I chose to study Arabic sort of on a whim because I had studied French in high school, as I said, and I wanted to learn a new language because I realized I really enjoyed studying languages. And I picked Arabic initially because I liked the script and I thought it would be cool to be able to write in the other direction and read a different script. But when I started taking the class, it really made me interested in the region and the politics and culture of the region as well. So I started taking other classes about the region and chose to major in it. So the summer after my freshman year, I applied for a peace and conflict resolution studies program that took place in those 3 countries. So in London and in Northern Ireland, for the first 2 weeks, we were studying the Troubles, which were the conflict between Protestants and Catholics in Northern Ireland in the 60s and 70s. And then for the second part of the program, we were in Amman for 3 weeks, learning about the Arab-Israeli conflict and also other conflicts in the region, and seeing if we could use what we had learned about the Troubles and apply it to the conflict in Israel and Palestine, and see if we could learn any lessons from that. So in Amman, I had a homestay with a family that comprised 2 sisters who were middle-aged, and I ended up having a lot of great conversations with them. And since I had only been studying Arabic for 1 year, my language skills were pretty limited, but I really tried to push myself to speak Arabic with them, even though they could speak English. But as a result, we ended up having many interesting bilingual conversations where we would switch back and forth between the 2 languages. And as a result, I learned a lot about how women are treated in the Middle East, and in Amman specifically. And these 2 sisters were kind of an unusual example because they were unmarried and lived in Amman with each other. So we were able to have a lot of candid conversations about how their lives had shaken out that way and what they had gotten out of their lives being women just living like unmarried. So we were able to have a lot of conversations about that and also about differences between culture in America and culture in Jordan. And so through I was also there during Ramadan, so I was able to experience a lot of the traditions that are associated with that holiday that only come around once a year. So I counted myself very lucky to be there during that time and be able to experience the iftar and also traditional Jordanian dances that are performed during Ramadan. So that was my first experience studying conflict. And throughout my time at Amherst, when I came back, I continued to be interested in studying the Arab world and specifically peace and conflict. So my senior year, I decided to do a special topics with a professor I'd had for a course about Iran, but I decided to write my special topics about the British Mandate in Palestine, and specifically the 1936 to 39 Arab Rebellion there. So the British Mandate in Palestine, for people who don't know, it was sort of the transition period between the freed Ottoman colonies. So Palestine used to be a colony, and then it became this mandate system where the British were basically administering a colonial type regime, but with the intention of eventually giving them independence. And that lasted until the establishment of Israel in 1948. So specifically, I was looking at the different perspectives of the 3 sides to the conflict. So that was the Zionists, the British mandatory power and the Palestinian rebels who had started the uprising. And my question was, what sparked this conflict, and how did the aims of these three different groups contribute to how they each saw the conflict and how that contributed to the ultimate outcome. So I was fortunate enough to be able to travel to England and go to the British National Archives to complete some research there. And what I found there was sources not only in English from the Foreign Office and the War Office, but also sources in Arabic that had been taken from Palestinian newspapers and from pamphlets that had been circulated by Palestinian rebels. So I was able to read those, and also sources in French from the consulate in Damascus. And they really rounded out my paper with a perspective that I couldn't have gotten from just reading English sources. So when I got back, I completed my 50-page paper and was able to cap off my Amherst experience studying conflict in the Arab world. So overall, from studying language, it has not only given me the hard language skills, but has also made me a much more empathetic person and has allowed me to understand where other people are coming from. And I've been astonished at how much learning a language can teach you about the culture of a place and about its relations with other countries. So going forward, I hope to continue using the hard skills I've learned from Arabic and also the empathy I've gained from it to continue to understand relations between the East and West. Thank you.